Well, good afternoon. I've been compiling a longer vlog for everybody, but I thought I would take a break and do a shorter one about a little project that I'm going to do this afternoon, which I'm going to share with you. So what you can see here is the base of an old Victorian vegetable tureen, and it's filled with artificial peonies. Now, this tureen base has been hanging around my cupboards, actually in the utility room, for years. It came as a job lot, or should I say it came as a part of a job lot, and it wasn't saleable. There are some issues with the rim, there are some stain marks to the interior, it obviously lost its lid, so it is of very little worth, but I always thought I could do something with it. And doing something with it, first of all, I was thinking of putting some bulbs in and having it as a spring display. But that never happened, and it sat in the cupboard and sat in the cupboard. When I was tidying out the cupboards in the utility room, I pulled it out and I thought, I'm going to have to do something with this. It's pointless keeping it and just burying it in a cupboard. So I had a look on Pinterest, and it came up with various sort of decorative ideas that you could have with similar sorts of bowls or containers. And then I did a quick ChatGPT exercise, and ChatGPT came up with an idea of artificial hydrangea heads and peonies, putting in a couple of peonies in there too. And I quite like the overall concept. And then I realised, I think in a previous vlog, I showed you some very long stems of roses, artificial roses that I had. And I said, I'm going to put these on eBay because I don't know what to do with them. I've got no room for them. Well, I remembered that in amongst those roses, I had some artificial peonies. So I went and got them, and what I've done, I've cut off the stems, and I did that quite simply by scissoring round the plastic bit and then using pliers to clip the wire thread insert. So I've got all these little pieces to play with. And then last night I just put them in this bowl quite loosely to see what the effect would be. And I think it's actually not too bad. So this morning I went to the range, I bought some Blu Tack, and I bought a dry floral foam brick. So the idea is I'm going to attach the foam brick into the interior of the tureen base using some Blu Tack. Then I can place these in deliberately and arrange it nicely, and hopefully we'll have a really nice display that can go in the lounge. So that's the idea. So let's see how we get on with it. The first thing I did was take some photos of it as it is now, so that I've got an idea where things can go. Because I think you take everything out and all of a sudden you get lost and you have to start again from scratch. So this is the interior of the tureen base. You can see here I've got a big chip, you know, and I think it's a pretty thing. It's a shame just to throw it out just because it's chipped on the rim. And there's some marks to the interior too. So the first thing, excuse me, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat today, is to somehow get this out. Okay, well, it's a little bit big, obviously. So what I'm going to have to do is cut it. So I think I can cut it into an oval shape. This could be interesting. Well, so there we go. It's probably a little bit deeper than I really wanted, but I suppose it'll be a bigger display. That was actually quite easy. I used an old carving knife just to make it into that sort of rather rough ovally shape. So now I need to get the blue tack out and try and fix it to the base. I think fixing it to the base will make it more secure. I'm not sure the blue tack wants to stick to the foam, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so what have I got? There are various different sizes. I think I've got 3 medium-sized ones, 2 small ones and 3 large ones. So if I put, is that in the centre? If I pop that into there, I don't know if I want, and then I thought at the front, I'm wondering if I'm going to have enough foliage actually. Oh, I don't know, I might do. No. So what do you make of that? I've got those little bits of greenery to shunt in. But I think it doesn't look too bad, does it? Right, what am I going to do with this greenery? How many bits have I got? I don't think the foam wants to stick to the blue tack. I can feel it moving around. Oh well. So I've just got one more bit. So where can I put that? Can I put that? Not squeeze in there. I'm going to use it. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to use it though. Can we see any gaps? Well, that's a very short project, isn't it? Well, I don't think that looks too bad. Okay, well I shall put it in its location, then I shall show you where I've put it. So there we go. I thought it would look really nice on my tea table here. And it does, doesn't it? I'm pleased with that. It hasn't got the height that the old display, now this is a Laura Ashley artificial display, which was actually lovely, but it did rather dominate the table and it has sort of obscured the picture, which is a lovely 1930s, I suppose, oil. I know it's not oil. I think that's a pastel. really nice rural scene. But there we go. I'm pleased with that. And it took, mind you, I did a lot of faffing around last night, cutting the stems down and doing an arrangement in the bowl to get me some sort of idea about what it would look like. I mean, it's not exactly perfect or symmetrical, but I don't think it really has to be, does it? So, few artificial flowers that I cut down, an old tureen base that I couldn't do anything with very much, and a little bit of florist's foam and some blue tack, and there you got a rather nice display. Okay then, well, we'll catch up later. I've got an awful lot more to vlog, and I shall be doing that over the next few days and probably uploading it on Sunday. Until then, take care, speak later.